Live it, love it. You will get the best out of it. Don't think about the past too much, as you can't change it. Think about today, as your future is what you do today. We all know life is not easy, but some of us chose to be strong, positive, and work hard. Be one of them. Be mindful, be grateful, be positive. Today we want to welcome Savani and Infinity Emotions. Savani is going to share her experience and during her study time with the committee clubs and volunteering. So, how are you, Savani?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Can you tell us a little bit more about you?
So, I'm Savani. I'm Sri Lankan, so both my parents are from Sri Lanka and they've grown up there. I was born in Dubai. I've traveled all over the place, moved here and there, but now I'm happy to say that I've finally settled in Perth and I study at UWA. I'm doing the Juris Doctor, which is a master in law, and I'm in my first year. So that's a new course, a new pathway in life.
Oh, nice. What made you choose to learn that? Was it your dream or like?
I think when I was in high school, it was a little bit hard to know what I wanted to do, and I wasn't really sure. But then I sort of thought to myself, as there's this thing in sort of Asian families where there's this big three professions, where there's law, medicine, and engineering.
Yeah, always in any family.
Yeah, and I didn't think I'd be good enough for medicine, and I didn't like human biology anyway, so that was out. Yeah, and
good.
then
is it hard?
It can be sometimes when you're reading. I think law, especially if you're reading really old cases.
Yeah, I know. It's not easy.
The language.
Yeah, the language. Yeah.
It's the sentences are long.
But most of the lawyers that I know in my life, they said that they're enjoying their work, like working as a lawyer, because like they're always hearing like different stories, different cases. So Savani, as a student coming like from another country to this country, definitely you faced some difficulties. Can you tell us what difficulties you faced?
I think for me, difficulties when moving around, it was a lot harder to make friends, and it was sort of hard to develop those social skills as a child, because you're sort of moving from one place to another and like uprooting your life completely, and you sort of don't know where to begin to make friends and sort of keep those lasting connections. Because you're sort of going on from one place to another. There's no sense of stability. You don't know what's going to happen. And I think that was the main difficulty for me growing up, was socially making friends.
Did it affect like your life? Or you get out of it quickly?
I was quite like that for a very, very long time.
Long time?
Yeah. And sort of...
Are you talking about months or years? Like
years.
Years.
Quite.
So it took a long time.
Took a lot of time to grow out of it.
I know. Yeah. And now?
Now I'm a lot more social. Yeah.
That's good. That's good.
And outgoing.
Yeah, it's hard. Like when you come from another country, another background. It's like you want. Like it's gonna take time always to settle, like to find friends, to know what you're gonna do. But it's good. At least like now you're more social, doing stuff. So Savani, we want to talk about your experience in the committee clubs in the university. What this experience added for you in your life, and tell us more about it.
So at UWA in particular, there are more than 150 clubs, so there's definitely a lot of choice.
Good. Yeah.
There's a club for anyone's interest, really. There's an anime club, which I was a member of for
nice.
1 year, and a Harry Potter club as well, another 1 year membership. Those were very fun in my first year. There's just heaps of clubs. They're sort of career clubs towards
so what you
career.
do in those clubs, like?
So last year in particular, I was the social media and marketing director for a club called Progressive Energy Strategies.
Oh, nice.
So what their mission is, it's kind of like a environmental, like conservation kind of club, but it's sort of different in the fact that we're sort of addressing the technologies
And
towards a more renewable energy
that's
economy.
good. Yeah.
So that role was really interesting. We had a really big event, and
No.
that went very well, with everyone's help.
Mm.
And last year I was also sort of, we have what we call, so we have departments
Mhm.
in the guild. So guild is the student-run body that governs
And the university.
the uni,
Yeah.
yeah. And I was part of the ethnocultural collective back when it was a collective.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So basically, my role there was an admin deputy.
Mm-hmm.
So I basically sort of secretary, treasurer kind of role, where I took minutes and also had a little look at the finances as well.
That's good.
And yeah, and from there I was asked to proxy my friend who was the convener, so
Mhm.
basically the head of it all. And in the meeting we were welcoming in we call it ethno, as the new department.
Oh.
So I was there as the proxy, and I had to give a speech
About that.
that.
That's good.
And that has to be probably my favorite and most proudest moment ever in my entire university life. It
That's
was
nice.
so special.
Yeah, you will not ever like forget about it. So when you were doing that in the committee clubs, like you felt like it's a lot easier to be social when you go to those clubs, right?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot easier to be social because you've got this little group who's your committee,
Yes.
and you're sort of working together on projects, and you're
together.
building that
And when you're
connection.
sharing like others' experience, like sometimes you'll find it's a lot easier for you. It's not just you. It's a lot of people facing those last difficulties. So what you're doing this year? Which club are you?
So this year I'm also part of another department as well.
Mhm. So you're doing it every year.
Trying to,
Oh,
seeing what I
nice.
can get, because you know
That's
a lot of it is an application based.
Yeah,
So you
I
put an
know.
application in
Mm.
and see what you get. So I'm under the guild volunteering department now, and I'm an ambassador over there.
Oh, that's good.
So basically, I do sort of the advertising part of it.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah, advertising to students about what we've got going on.
That's good. So I heard that you're doing a volunteering on top of that. So how do you organize your time? And I want you to tell us more about like what kind of volunteering you're doing.
So this year I've tried to do a fair amount through my ambassador role,
Mm-hmm.
sort of volunteering for stalls and helping out where I can for to spread awareness about guild volunteering and what programs we have going on.
Mm.
Last year I was definitely very involved in plenty of extracurriculars. So I was a student ambassador last year.
Mm.
So that's under the Future Students team at UWA.
That's good.
And what we did was we basically sort of advertised UWA services to high school students.
That's good.
So we were giving campus tours, we were also giving presentations,
Mm.
and I think that experience sort of helped me accept my own journey a lot
Mm.
more. It
Yeah.
sort of made me feel that I can be of help to
Other
these high school
people.
kids, because
Yes.
you know,
And you can share like your
Yeah.
experience with them. Sometimes when you share your experience, your stories, it's a lot like you make it easier for people who's hearing you. Like some people they think, it's just me that I'm facing those difficulties. It's not just you. As I said at the start, life is not easy. But some chose to be strong and work hard and be positive, and some chose like just to stay where they are. So always be positive, work hard, be mindful, be grateful, so you can get out of it. As we can see, Savani, like when she was talking about her difficulties at the start, and when she's now, there is like a way like from here to here. So how much you're proud of yourself, Savani, of what you're doing?
I'm very, very proud. I wish I could do more, but you know,
You will do more.
There's always, I mean, as a student, it's sort of hard to
I
balance
know
time
because
as well.
but you're doing like a great like for
Yeah,
what
I
you're
think so.
doing, but because you're dreaming to do more, one day you will do more. So Savani, do you want to add anything about the volunteering and the committee club?
Well, a lot of it is application based, so you're sort of competing against other people. Sort of, let me think, was there anything? Well, it's also good socially.
So do you recommend it like for like if you wanted to give advice for students in the universities, what's the advice you will give them about the committee clubs and the volunteering?
Find out about opportunities as early as possible. One of my biggest regrets was starting last year when I was a third year, when I really wanted to start earlier. Like my first or second year when I had a lot more time. I just wasn't aware of it. So be open to all the opportunities and options that you have.
That's
Keep in mind of what sort of programs you can do, and just find your own sense of fulfillment from what you're doing.
That's nice. And like in general, if you want to give advice for people, like because you're coming from another background, and as you said, you faced some difficulties at the start. Like in general, what you can say for the people who are in the same situation as you.
I think definitely what you were saying at the beginning, it's sort of making sure that you work hard and stay positive, because if you don't, then it'll be a lot
You'll stay
harder
there. I
for
know.
you.
Well, yeah. So I want to thank you for being in the program, Savani. A very like nice story. I always like to hear the people who always works hard, trying to achieve their dreams. And I'm pretty sure one day you'll be like bigger and bigger. Thank you, Savani, again.
Thank you.
Thank you.